We got a special guest in the building. You might know him on Instagram as Flippin' NJ, my friend Cesar Pena.
We invested $200,000 and looks like we're never going to get it back. And he's advertising this all over the radio and on television, so I thought this was legit.
If it wasn't for DJ Envy, I would have never invested into Cesar. I lost a total of $64,000.
He is a victim, just like the other alleged victims are.
What's up, everybody? Back here with another video, and today we're talking Ponzi schemes. All right, guys, so if you have been paying attention to anything in the hip-hop real estate space, I guess that's a thing, you probably have heard about DJ Envy, who was a very popular DJ on The Breakfast Club, and his business partner Cesar Pena, who has been federally indicted and arrested and charged for running a Ponzi scheme.
In an alleged real estate Ponzi scheme, Cesar Pena, charged with wire fraud, was often featured on the massively successful syndicated radio show The Breakfast Club. Envy, who says he never made any money investing in real estate in the business venture, maintained...
Well, let me clear that up. DJ Envy has not been charged, but his business partner Cesar Pena has. Now, here is what Cesar Pena has been accused of. He has been accused of buying real estate, using people to invest in that real estate, and instead of paying them back, he has been reinvesting new people's money into the same properties and paying back old investors with new investor money. So here is what it looks like. Cesar Pena goes to someone like you and say, hey, look, I have this property. It cost me $100,000 to buy it. It's going to cost me $100,000 to fix up. So I need $200,000, and I'm going to give you 20% return on your money. Okay. The property is going to be worth $350,000 once it's fixed up, and I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to pay you your money back and your interest. Okay, great. So he raised $200,000. He's going to give 20% of that back to his investor once the project sells, which is another $40,000. So he owes his investor $240,000. As long as the property sells for $350,000, he has plenty of room in the deal to pay them back. But here is what Cesar was doing. He was investing $200,000 into the property, and then he was running on to somebody else and saying, hey, look, I got this same property. You want to invest $100,000 into it? And they would. And then he'd go to somebody else and say, hey, I got the same property. Would you want to invest $100,000 into it? And then they would. And before you know it, you got $1 million leveraged against a property that's only worth $350,000. And the only way he was paying those people back is by reinvesting or re-raising new money. Now, Ponzi schemes are, one, very illegal. And two, they only work as long as you have new people reinvesting into the deal. And how was he getting people to reinvest? He was leveraging DJ Envy, his brand, his position on the Breakfast Club, and his ability to know other people who have money. Now, whether DJ Envy knew about the scheme or knew about the fraud, I don't believe he did. But at the end of the day, he was running a business with somebody who was scamming people. Now, if you ever have somebody come to you and say, hey, look, I'm about to buy some real estate. I'm looking to raise some capital, and I need about $50,000 or $100,000 or $30,000 or $20,000, whatever they're trying to raise, and they say they're going to give you interest on your money, here's what you need to do. If you're going to do it, you need to contact the title company that your investor is going to use to close on the property. And you need to let them know that you want a deed of trust or a note or a mortgage against the property for the amount of money that you are investing into the deal. I'm going to say that again. You need a deed of trust, a note, or a mortgage. They're all the same thing. It's just a matter of which state you live in and what they call it. But it's the same thing. Basically, what it's going to be is a mortgage against the property for the same amount of money that you've invested into the deal so that it is leveraged now against the property. The reason you want to do that is because whenever that investor goes to resell the property or refinance or it changes hands to somebody else, guess what? You have to be paid off. You have to be paid back first. That's what protects your interest in the deal. So all these people that invested hundreds of thousands into Cesar Pena's real estate portfolio, if they didn't have a deed of trust or a mortgage against any single property, then there's nothing tying them to the real estate. And there's nothing other than just a contract that protects their interest. But if you record a deed, a mortgage, or a note against the property, you're protected. So let's say Cesar Pena raised $100, or let's say $1 million against a property that's only worth $300,000. And let's say you invested $100,000 of that $1 million. If you had a deed of trust against that property, even though it's only worth $300,000 and he's raised $1 million, guess what? Your $100,000 is protected because it's tied against the property. If Cesar Pena ever decides to sell it, you get paid. If he refinances, you get paid. If he doesn't pay you back, you can foreclose on the property. And guess what? You get the entire property. And all the other people that have the other $900,000 left against the property, that's between them and Cesar, not you and the real estate. So you always need to protect yourself. That's what my advice would be to you. And I learned this lesson the hard way. A few years ago, I had a friend of mine who he bought a piece of real estate, or actually he was trying to buy a piece of real estate. And the day before closing, he called me up and said, hey man, I'm kind of messed up. I underestimated how much I needed to buy this property. I'm supposed to close tomorrow. I don't have enough to close. And if I don't close on the property, I lose my deposit. And he's a friend of mine. So I said, hey, look, how much do you need? He said 10,000. So I didn't want to do it, I wanted to help him. I wasn't happy, but I gave him the money. I said, hey, look, here's the money. I'll wire it to you, to the title company tomorrow. And just give me, whatever it was, 10, 15% return on my money. And he said he'll have it in 6 months. I said, okay, great. I didn't require him to sign anything. I didn't put a deed of trust against the property. Now, mind you, this was years ago, so I didn't know better. And I just trusted him. Well, 6 months came by and I didn't have my money. 3 more months passed, I didn't have my money. 12 months had passed, and I said, hey, man, what's going on? Where's my money?
Hey, it's me. Knock, knock. So, you got my money?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I'll pay you soon.
Yeah, well, here's a suggestion. Have the money by tomorrow, and there won't be any problems.
Huh?
And he said, oh, well, I'm going to refinance the property. Some things came up. I didn't finish the property in time, and now I don't want to sell it. I'm just going to refinance, and I'll pay you back through the refinance. And I said, okay, that's fine. So he said he needed 30 days. So he refinanced. And then he calls me and says, hey, man, I refinanced, but, I wasn't able to pull out as much money as I wanted to. So I don't have enough money to pay you back. And I said, that's not good.
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man? Where's the money?
Where's my money? Now, he ended up paying me back. It took him maybe another month or so to pay me back, but he did give me my money back. But it really put a stain on our relationship. One, I'm never going to lend money to him again because he dropped the ball. He didn't pay me back when he said he was. But then also, I learned a very valuable lesson. I learned that, hey, look, if you're ever going to invest in real estate with somebody else and you're not going to be in control of that real estate, then you need to at least protect your money by leveraging your equity by way of a deed of trust or a note or a mortgage against the property. You need to do that because what's stopping them from selling the property behind your back and just never paying you back? Now you got to sue them. Now you got to take them to court. Then you got to get a judgment against them, and then you have to cash in on that judgment. It's a whole process, and then usually people settle for way less than what's even owed back to them. It's a whole mess. But if you put a deed of trust against that property, you're protected. Whenever that property changes hands, refinances, or sells, you get paid back first. And that's what you need to do. Make sure you protect your money. Make sure you protect yourself. Always cover your ass. Everybody, that's my opinion on this situation. I don't think DJ Envy deserves to go to jail. I don't think he did, anything worthy of losing his job. But I do believe he owes everyone an apology. And hopefully you all learned something from me today on how to protect your money. If you have money invested out there with somebody right now, contact them and have them draft up, or have the title company or somebody, an attorney, draft up a deed of trust or a mortgage and leverage it against the property. If they're not willing to do that, then you better hope they pay you back. All right, everybody, until next